Hey folks, it's Bernakevitch with All Points Design. That's allpointsdesign.ca. And today we're talking about the Oregon State Permaculture Design Template. We're taking a look at the base map today. And once we've developed our base map and put all the different elements of our base map together, there's an advantage to having our base map at the ready to then bring in as a background image for other design elements. Once you've made your base map, you're going to have a lot of elements that you can click upon. And as you're layering more and more elements onto this, it can get a bit cumbersome. Now, one of the great things about Google Slides is that its accessibility and its versatility and its ability to share your design portfolio with others, but it doesn't have a layer system. So one of the ways that we can kind of hack this layer system is we can use two different ways to create a background image. So the first thing you'll want to do is you'll want to create a basic slide, just a blank slide. So you'll just either right click and go new slide or control M. Now you'll see that if I click on this slide and I put in a new slide, it's going to take the layout pre-existing. And because I've already made a background image, it might come up with a slide from the layout that doesn't work for you. So basically you go up to layout and you just click on whatever the blank option is. So that's what I did here. I clicked blank. Now, once we have what we're looking for, we're going to go back to our slide that has our base map that's completed. And we're going to take all of the elements that we want to take from this. So generally when we're coming back into a new slide, or we might bring in this base map, chances are that the title block is going to be a little different in terms of the date and in terms of the title, because while our base layer will be a base map, it may be our zones, or it may be our microclimate, or we may be bringing it in for other reasons. So chances are we're not going to want to bring that, but for the sake of ease, we'll probably highlight everything and probably, again, deselect this top, and you do that by holding shift and then clicking on the elements you don't want. And then one of two things, we'll either Command C or right click and copy. So Command C or right click and copy. So I'm just going to do that one more time. There we go. So we can right click and copy. Then we're going to go down to our new blank slide and either Command V or right click paste. So I do a lot of my quick keys on my keyboard, but I'm showing it today, so I'll show that paste. So here's a lot of different elements here that we may want to keep. Now we may want to keep some, but not all of these elements. So what I will do is I'll probably make a few of these. And by doing that, I'm just clicking on here, going Command Copy, but I could do Command Copy here or Duplicate Slide. And basically what I'm doing is creating a few options that we can delete elements from. Now, generally in all of these, we're going to have a new title bar, so we can remove that. And for this first one, I'm just going to have the base map without the legend. So I'm just going to highlight just this text bar and remove that just by clicking the delete button. I don't want the legend, nor do I want my title bar, so I'll remove that. And there's a couple things that got left over, which sometimes happens. And I think I'm going to remove my scale and my compass rose just because I don't really need it either. So great. So we just have this. So what we want now is to bring this into an image, but there's two things that are still outstanding. One, we've got a page number, which I don't want on this slide. And I also have this background name block. Now, the name block is in the master slide. So if we go to slide, edit theme, what you'll find is that it's right up at this top slide and it's embedded in there. So because I don't want that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little trick, and I'm basically going to, like, by putting on kind of an image mask, kind of like putting a whiteout on top of it, I'm just going to make a little block. So I did that by going to shapes and then grabbed the full shape. Now this shape doesn't have the color I want. I just want it to be totally white. So I'm going to go up to my paint bucket, and I think it's still outlined. And then I'm going to go up to my border outline and click transparent. And now it's totally and utterly bare. It's just this image. Perfect. So then I'm going to click on File, Download, and I usually download a PNG. And that's going to download directly to my downloads folder. Now, I'm on a Mac, so it'll be on my downloads folder. You may be on a PC. You'll have to find out where your download folder is or where your browser is set to download to. But once I have that, what I can do is I can go back into slides. Two ways to do this. I can go back into slides, go edit theme, and I can make a brand new background slide. As you can see, I've already done this with different elements of my slides. So what I'm going to do is click on one of these. I'm going to right click and go new layout, brand new layout. I'm going to remove this, click the layout slide. And instead I'm going to, two options. I can just drag this right in, and that's what I did. I just dragged it right in, or I could insert photo. But I'm going to bring this in like this. And because this is the exact same size as my slide, I'm going to put it in the corner, and I'm basically going to drag it out to the whole slide like this. And then I'm going to right click and I'm going to go order, send to back, order. Awesome. And now what I can do is I can take this top bar, so I can triple click this. And if you triple click your image, you'll get these crop bars all the way around. You can also right click and format image and crop image. This is another way to do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw down that top. And what this does is it brings up the title block and my little number, my page number. So now that I have this, I'm going to rename this, and I'm going to rename this base map, no title block or legend. Enter. No title block or legend. Great. So then when I get out of the edit theme, which is this little X here, I could then make a whole new slide again. So right click, new slide. Here we are. And while this is actually all my edited version of all my elements, if I go over here and go layout, then I've got base map, no title block or legend, click on that. And now I've got this here, and this is actively on top. So I can't click on anything here, but I can put things on top. So I can click as much as I want, but there's nothing here. The other way to do this is, let's say we bring up a new slide again. And now I've got this new slide, and you'll see this element here that says background, change background. And I believe it's also, maybe that's the only place it is. They just updated Google Slides, and we try to stay abreast of everything, but every once in a while they move things around and it's no longer there. So background may be someplace else, but basically if you're not clicking on anything, if you're clicking on something, you'll lose that, if you notice. So if I'm clicking on this, I'll lose that. But if I click off of that, that background will come up. So I can click background and I can go choose image. When I click on choose image, I'll have the ability to, again, drag or browse my elements. And so I can upload that image that we just took, click done. And now, just like this other one, I am completely able to draw over top of that. Now, the difference between these two is if I click on layout, I'm still on blank. Whereas on 30, if I click on layout, I'm actually on that layout. And you can do this with every single version. So you can create an element where you have an aerial, you have the legend, you have the title bar. But remember, usually if we're going to remake a new slide, we'll want a fresh title bar because there will be a few things that will be different. So I'll usually come back to the title bar, and for most people, a horizontal title bar is best. But the way this worked out, I just needed that vertical title bar. And then I'll bring this in because let's say this is going to be my new, let's say, zones map. And so what I want to click in here is this will be my zones overlay. And then I want to update my date to be accurate as well. I just noticed my J is bolded. I'll get rid of that too. Awesome. And then once we go back to fit, then we have this as a background image. So There you go, folks. This is how to create a background image in Google Slides, either through editing the theme or editing the background image. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.